Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752, and we are ready to go. Before I kick this thing off, though, hold on, change the sound a little bit. Before I kick this thing off, I have something on my mind, and I just want to talk to y'all about this real quick. Let me start off by saying that there is nothing wrong with fixing yourself so you look a certain kind of way in front of people. There's nothing wrong with looking the way that you want to be seen by the public, even in your private life. There's nothing wrong with making yourself presentable in the way that you want to be seen. Now, I do think that the way that you look and the way that you are should go together. I think that they should fit together pretty well. I think that the pieces should go together pretty well, but they don't always have to. One thing can catch up to the other thing. In other words, you might say fake it till you make it. I don't like to say that because I don't think that you can do anything that's fake besides try to be somebody else, because I don't think that you can do that effectively. But what I'm saying is you can portray yourself to be something that you are evolving into. So you may not be there already, but you can be on your way there and you can take care of business when you get there. You understand what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with fixing yourself, presenting yourself the way that you want to be seen by other people. There's nothing wrong with that. Unless you are presenting yourself to be somebody else besides who you are. I think you should always be true to yourself. And I think that you should love yourself enough in order to be true to yourself. I don't like, okay, I'm probably going to have to do it like that. Matter of fact, let me see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Y'all know I don't like audio problems, so I got to get this microphone situation together. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a way. I'll put them together like that so they'll hang like that and won't be bumping up against the chains. I don't want to do that. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. Today, on this Sunday, the second day of March, we are talking about the difference between speaking your mind, and being honest. The difference between speaking your mind and being honest. There is a difference. And it's almost like the difference between knowing when to speak your mind and knowing when to shut up. A lot of times people struggle with that. They don't know when to speak. They don't know when to shut up. They don't know when to let it fly. And throughout your life, even if you don't practice it yourself, you'll probably tell your children or advise other people not to just let it fly like you do, because there may have been times when you got away with saying whatever you want to say. And then there may have been times when you got yourself in trouble, and you may know that somebody else may not have what you have in order to get yourself out of trouble, or in order to make the situation better, overall. So, you know what I'm saying? But when we start talking about the difference between speaking your mind and being honest, yeah, a lot of people say, well, I was just speaking my mind. So, that's my truth. That's my truth. Well, we're going to take a look into all of that, because I know for a fact that although some people may not speak their mind, or some people may speak their mind with people that they know and that they're comfortable with and that are no threat to them, but to other people, they will watch what they say. They will mitigate their language. They will make sure that they don't get too out of line. So let's get it popping, man. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. Let me do this, and then we're going to get out of the way. Let's. man. All right, let's get it popping, man. Let's get this show on the road. The difference between being honest or speaking your mind, or should I say, the difference between speaking your mind and being honest. How are y'all feeling today? How are y'all feeling today? I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling today? I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Let me give a shout out to my peoples out the gate. Grown woman, don't try me. Have you say it, yo, why me? And Stacy White coming on through for the D. I'm talking about the D Detroit, not me. What's going on, my? Good to see me some you. Olga Beck is my time. You know how we do. And Omar, my namesake, for God's sake, you're coming through. I'm seeing like an earthquake, but I'm also glad that you're shaking the ground. And I always feel great when my brother comes around. And Lizzie Smith, what's going on the fifth? And we don't have to drink it. Yo, smoke it and think it. Yo, the difference between speaking your mind and being honest. What comes to your mind when you first hear that? What person, that's what I should ask. What person do you know comes to your mind when you think about the difference between speaking your mind and being honest? Who do you know that doesn't know how to control their mouth? Who do you know that always feels like they are compelled, they just can't control themselves to not say certain things that may be inappropriate, that may be damaging, that may be insulting, that just may not be they may not have good timing, but they insist on being the way that they are, and they'll tell you all the time that they have the right to be the way that they are. But I'm a strong believer. I'm a strong believer that people do things by trial and error. So when something works for somebody, they keep doing it, and when it doesn't work for them anymore, they discontinue it. They throw it away. They let it go. They don't do it no more. But what happens when it takes too long for something to stop working that was working before? Because that's what we're dealing with a lot of times when we talk about the difference between speaking your mind and being honest. Originally, I was writing this show up to say the title of the show was going to be the difference between speaking your mind, knowing when to speak and knowing when to shut up, basically. Knowing when to speak and knowing when to shut up. But I know that other shows have been done like that, and I've probably done a show or two, or maybe even 3 shows with that same premise. But this is different. When we talk about speaking your mind versus being honest, most people who irresponsibly speak their mind will normally tell you that they're just being honest. Well, I'm just being honest. You know, I just keep it real. You know, that's me. I keep it real. I'm real. I'm real. Well, you know, I think keeping it real, being real, the word real in and of itself is overused and overstated, because any and everything that a person does is real. You know, we say a person is real because they're rude. We say a person is real because they're obnoxious. We say a person is real because they're violent. We say a person is real because they make other people uncomfortable. We say a person is real because they can't keep themselves out of trouble. That's real. We think that self-control is not real, but guess what? It is. You know why it's real? Because it takes practice and it takes half a brain. Recklessness is not the only reality that is invited or that is welcome. As a matter of fact, the realest people that you know are probably not your favorite people. The realest people that you know are probably not your favorite people. Your favorite people are probably the people who know how to do things, who impress you by knowing how to have tact, how to have some kind of couth, who have better timing, who act like they got some sense. Yeah, we think it's funny when people run around here like wild, like park apes, and don't know what to say out of their mouth and don't know what to do out of their body. We think it's funny as long as we don't have to deal with it, as long as it doesn't affect us. Yeah, it's funny when it's being done to them. It's funny when it's their friend. It ain't funny when it's your friend. And you constantly have to find yourself explaining away why you deal with this person or why they felt the need or why they think it's okay to act the way that they do. So it's not funny when you're losing friends or when you have to do the explaining as if it's something that you did. And then it's really not funny when you start to be associated with their behavior. Yeah, it ain't funny then. It ain't funny then. You know, then it's like, all right, well, let me talk to the bull. Or, you know, that's my homegirl. Let me talk to her, you know, because, you know, she a loose cannon a little bit. And, you know, but she real. That's why I like her, because she real. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay when they're real. It's okay when they are real. It's okay when it doesn't affect you, when it's not losing your money, when it's not losing your friends, when it's not putting you in bad standing at your job or with your family or with your favorite people or your loved ones. A difference between speaking your mind and being honest. Let's get an example popping. Let's say you meet somebody. I'm gonna do it like this. I knew this one woman. I used to rent to this one woman. And she had about 3 sons that were all special needs. Keep it a buck. They were retarded. They were never going to be able to make it on their own. They were going to need a lifetime of care. And this was not an older woman. I mean, this was not a young woman. She was an older woman. And guess what? They were older men. So I was in my 20s when I met this woman, and they were like in their 30s, like going towards their 40s. And you know, they had the, you know how they, you know, they had the hand thing, you know, like now they were actually, you know, to be retarded men, they were actually, to be honest with you, they were kind of good looking. I'm like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. They were actually handsome, retarded guys. But, you know, they couldn't really speak. So they couldn't get jobs and things like that. You know, they had a lifetime of care. Bottom line is, when I saw this, she had some children, because she had a lot of kids. She had some children that weren't mentally retarded, but she had 3 sons that were. Now, suppose I would have been like, Dad, you know, so you got some regular kids and then you got some retarded kids. What would have happened if I would have said something like that? Now I'm speaking my mind. I'm asking about something that's obvious to everybody. Like, they obviously aren't normal, right? But where would that honesty have gotten me? What would have done? What if I would have went a little farther, like, Dad, shoot, if I was a man, I'd be scared to have sex with you because, you know, you be making retarded kids. Huh? Just being honest, just speaking my mind. She was an older lady. She was kind of good looking her goddamn self. Where would that honesty have gotten me? Where would it have gotten me? There's a time and there's a place. Speaking my mind wasn't welcome. Nobody asked me. And they didn't ask me or invite me to ask a question of them either. I was there to make sure that the house was fixed up right and to collect the rent. And that's what I did. I made my observations, kept it moving. I knew better. That lady was nice to me. I wonder if she's still alive. This was a minute ago, because this was in the 90s. That lady was nice to me. Why would I disrespect her like that? But the next person might have disrespected her. We have a president of the United States that has a hard heart for people who have physical or mental disabilities. You may have heard of him. You may have seen some of his antics. You may have. I have. They're well documented and recorded. Yeah, has a problem with people with mental and physical disabilities. Somebody like him might have spoken out of turn, especially since he's rich and powerful and feels like he can say whatever he wants to say. And you may know a lot of people who are like that, who feel like they have the green light to just go off the rails and speak their mind. But everybody has somebody that they stop speaking their mind with, somebody that they're not as honest with. Because if you love somebody, you like somebody, you care about somebody, you care about the way that they feel. And a lot of times, sometimes we violate the people that we care about. Because maybe maybe we feel like they had it coming. We give them a dose of their own medicine. Maybe we feel like they have done something to us, so now we got to do something to them. All right, so you take a day off, you take a vacation, you take vacation days off from your tact, from your discretion, from your give me a vocabulary word. Give me a vocabulary word. What's going on, Dimples D's? How you feeling, man? Good to see me some you. Good to see me some you. I appreciate y'all. But yeah. So we all know people who, as reckless as they may be, everybody has that person or those people or that group that they make sure they watch everything that they say. Like, nah, There's a time to speak your mind, and then there's a time to make sure you keep that trap shut before somebody shuts it for you for about 6 to 8 weeks. You know, anybody who's ever had their jaw wired or had to deal with somebody who had their jaw wired, you understand what I'm talking about when I say that, somebody might shut your mouth from 6 to 8 weeks. I've had my jaw wired before. It's not fun. It's not fun trying to drink fried chicken through a straw. It doesn't work either. I don't care how long you blend it. It don't work. Yeah, I was a victory of a robbery attempt before they smacked me with the goddamn bat or a 2x4 or whatever. All I know was wooden, and it made noise when it hit me in the head. I didn't even know it hit me in the mouth, and I'm not sure if it did, but I don't know. Anyway, I know what it's like to have my jaw wired, but just in case y'all wondering or already saying it, no, it didn't have anything to do with anything that I said. My mouth did not get me. I ain't saying I've never been punched in the mouth before, but that's not how I got it. It didn't have anything to do with anything that I said. Please, y'all, do me a favor. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm your host, Sun752. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feel like real men and women should also. We are talking about the difference between speaking your mind and being honest. Do you think that there's a difference between speaking your mind and being honest? Do you think that you have to lie in order to be diplomatic? let me ask that. Do you think that lying is required in order for you to be diplomatic? We're going to get a poll question in a minute. You know what I mean? I'm trying to cook one up. I'm trying to cook up a good poll question. I don't want to just throw a poll question out there and then later on think like, I like this poll question better. Let me take down that poll question. I don't like that one. Let's cook a good one. Let's get a real good one. But yeah, do you think that in order for you to be diplomatic, you have to lie? Do you think that it's possible to always be honest, but not hurt somebody's feelings? Do you think that it's possible to do that? Can you consistently be honest and avoid hurting somebody's feelings? Do you think that that's possible? Some people may think that you can. And then again, a lot of people don't even care. How many of y'all know somebody who acts like they don't care about how people feel? But I bet you they care about how they feel, and they want people to cater to them and to watch their mouths with them. Let's lick off a list of people who definitely care about what people think about them, but sometimes may pretend like they don't. I'll start off. Women who wear a lot of makeup. Women who wear a lot of makeup definitely care about how they look and how people see them and whether people think that they are pretty or not. They definitely care about it. Do they act like they don't care? Absolutely. Will they lie and say that they don't care about it? Yes, they will. Men who pretend to have a lot of money when they don't. They are definitely hoping that people watch their mouths when it comes to them. There are a lot of men out there who live their entire lives based on what their wallet says. Their whole worth, their whole value is based on what other people think their bank accounts are saying. So they'll buy things, they'll present themselves in ways, they'll even talk all that money shit. They talking about a financial portfolio and investments, Bitcoin, crypto. You know, they talking all that old good shit. They ain't got no money. They talking about money. And it's their freedom to be able to do so. Maybe one day they will get paid, but they ain't paid right now. But they sure want to present themselves as getting it like that. Well, you know how that go. You know how it goes with the man who gets women by acting like he has a lot of money. So he went out, spent all his money on this car. The car might be sucking up all the money. So it is what it is. Cheryl Halsey, what's good? Good to see me some you. Always and all the time. Good to see me some you. But yeah. Let me see. Well, you know, cosmetic surgery is a big deal out here. Cosmetic surgery. All my people out there who have gotten weight loss surgery, they are absolutely insecure with their body image. Now, a lot of people are insecure about their body image. More than likely, nobody who is listening to this show loves their body so much that they would present it in any scenario, and especially when they're by themselves and they look at their body and they say, oh my God, am I an Adonis? I am so great. You know, that's not to say that you don't love the way that you look. You may be in the gym, you may take good care of yourself, eat right and all of that kind of stuff. And maybe you do love your figure, but it doesn't mean that there's nothing about your body that you don't want to change, because why would you go to the gym if everything about your body was perfect? Oh, because I'm trying to keep it perfect. Yeah, it sounds good, son, but you know what I mean? Come on. You know what I mean? Come on, shorty. Why did you just start going to the gym at the beginning of the year? Every year, the beginning of the year is your year. All right. Look, like I said, I don't think that there's anybody who loves their body so much when they're all by themselves. You know what I mean? You pinching an inch, you looking at back fat, you analyzing them wings. You know what I'm saying? You thinking like maybe I should add a few more plates on the weight bench. You know what I'm saying? These pecs ain't pecking. What's up with the pecking order? Yeah. Women, same thing. These titties ain't perky and they don't sit up like they used to. These things used to sit up. They used to stand at attention like somebody said 10 hut. My titties used to sit up like somebody said 10 hut. You know what I mean? My titties was a bra themselves. Big bra titties. You know them things hanging down. Don't be mad about it. You know what I mean? Big titties, big titties. You know what I'm saying? Gravity affects all of us. Shoot. A lot of y'all niggas, your balls don't sit up the way that they used to. You know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all go to the bathroom, and this might be a hernia, so you should listen close. But some of y'all go to the bathroom, you might have to hold your balls when you take a shit. And if you don't want to stir the toilet water with your balls, it's a different thing with your dick. I mean, not a lot of y'all don't really know nothing about that. Y'all ain't built like that. Your balls might hang, but your dick might still be in the air. It still might be, highly elevated. Sort of like this is a good example. See this triangle? This is your balls. This is your dick. Dick high, balls low. Now they say you got to let your nuts hang, but they shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to, just get it checked out, man. You could have a hernia. If your balls are hanging damn near down to your knees, that shit ain't attractive. I ain't never heard no woman say, yo, I need a man with balls down to his knees. I never heard that. So anyway, gravity affects all of us. I'm just trying to say that there may be things about all of us that we don't like and we're insecure about them, and we may keep that a secret, but we're hoping that somebody doesn't pinpoint it. Man, listen, man, when I was a young man, I was a beast. I've never liked makeup. I've never liked that shit. I've never liked it. When I was in high school, there was this Puerto Rican girl named Vicky. Vicky was pretty as shit. Vicky was a super cutie. Vicky was digging me too. One day, Vicky came to school. Oh, by the way, I wasn't messing with no Puerto Rican chick back in no high school. At no point was I openly going to not be with no black woman. That wasn't going to happen. So even though I thought Vicky was a super cutie, as she was. One day, Vicky came to school and she didn't have her makeup on. At this time, I didn't know nothing about makeup. I didn't know nothing about that. So Vicky came to school with a clean face. Vicky looked different as hell. Now, Vicky only 14 years old. We freshmen. Vicky was only 14 years old. And I was like, Vic, what the hell? Are you sick? I didn't know what was going on. She was like, no, I'm not sick. I guess this one day, Vicky mom was probably like, no. You're not wearing the makeup. You ain't blah, 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 blah. I'm Puerto Rican mom. You know what I'm saying? No makeup this day. And I was like, the transformation. Now, Vicky wasn't ugly without the makeup, but her face looked so much clearer, so much lighter, because with the makeup, her face was a little darker. She was like a light brown skin, she was light skinned, but she wasn't light. Like when she took off the makeup, she was light. And her eyes look, how can I say it? It's sort of like she just woke up. She didn't look sleepy. There were no bags under her eyes. She only 14 years old. You know what I mean? But she young. She young. So, yeah. So from that point, I said, oh, this makeup shit. Oh, yeah. Fuck makeup. So from that point on, it was a war between me and makeup. And back then, I didn't have nobody to check me. I didn't have nobody to say, no, oh, you can't do it like that. And my thing was, I need to show you that you are better without the extras. That was my personal crusade. I didn't have the right to do that. But I figure, like, I'm only trying to help. I ain't trying to hurt you or whatever. I'm just trying to show you that you prettier without the makeup than with the makeup on. So, you know, you should take off the makeup, especially if you're going to be with me. When you're going to be with me, you ain't going to have that shit on. And I have always been that way. Like, look. I don't give a fuck. Listen. Anyway, so when I went to college, I was messing around with this chick, and she was way prettier without the makeup. Couldn't tell her that shit. She was a foundation queen. So here we are in the dining hall. You know what I mean? I saw her in the dining hall. I went, got my food, sat next to her, whatever. I'm looking her in the eye, like. First, she's sitting over, you know, they have benches in the dining hall at Penn State. So she's sitting on that side of the bench, and I'm sitting on this side of the bench. I'm like, what's going on, babe? How you doing? And she's like, hey, you know, I'm good, blah, blah. And I reached over and I did her cheek like this. Had some of the foundation in my fingernail. That was some rude shit to do. I realized that now. She would. When I say that the life drained out of her face when I did that shit, like she wasn't mad at me, but she was pissed at me. She wasn't mad at me to whereas she was like, yo, I ain't messing with you no more. But she was mad like, well, why would you do that? And this is in the dining hall. People saw you do that. I'm like, ain't nobody see me do that shit. I'm like, yo, I told you stop wearing that shit. What are you doing? And that wasn't the last time I did it. Every time she'd be like, Omar, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I had to do better in my life. I had to do better. But at 21 years old, no, I wasn't 21 years. I was 20. At 20 years old, you couldn't tell me shit. And you couldn't be my shorty without a clean face. You fucking up pillowcases and all that shit. Fuck out of here. I had to learn how to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I think back on that shit, I'm horrified at how rude and insensitive I was. Even though I didn't feel like I was being insensitive, because I'm like, I'm just trying to empower my baby. I can't be with no weak ass baby. I can't be with no chick that's crazy. Well, maybe a little crazy, but she gotta be my baby. And you can't be my baby acting like you're somebody else. Putting that shit on your face is fucking up your health because your pores can't breathe. Now you're covering up the motherfucking pimples looking like seeds. So I had to do better and understand that even though she get the shit on her sweater, I gotta let her be herself until she's done because she's her own woman. Come on, and I ain't the one to be trying to press nobody and hold them down. But yo, you take off that makeup because you look like a clown and I'm not fucking around. Yeah, that's exactly the way I feel, but maybe I could have more appeal if I slowed down and try to appeal to her senses and been a real man and be able to stand and say, listen, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to be sort of like a therapist, but listen to this. And what right do I have to be somebody? I mean, I ain't fucking no shit at 20 years old. All I had was the book knowledge. I ain't know no better. I didn't know no better. Oh man. Buttercup 25 says, what in the world is wrong with the host? Listen, man, y'all getting the 54-year-old. I'm so much better than I was, which is crazy because I was a better person in my 20s. I wasn't all relationship hardened. I wasn't all friendship hardened. I wasn't all turned off by people and I don't give a fuckish. I was always willing to be by myself. I was never a group type of person, even when I had a group, even when I had a crew, even when I was the leader. I knew that it couldn't last because I'm like, I can't put up with niggas. I can't. I can't. The shit that niggas do to each other, I be like, y'all be acting like some bitches. I can't do it. Now, do I have the right to say that niggas be acting like bitches? No. But do I do it? Yes. Have I lost friends because of it? Sometimes, maybe once. We all gotta grow. Grown woman says, Buttercup, you know how he is. He's just being himself. Oh man, Stacey White says, you just don't want other men to be looking at your girl. Actually, yes, I do. Why would I want to be with somebody that men didn't look at? If I'm the only one who want to see my girl, then I don't know. I want my girl to be more like top shelf liquor. Yeah, I'll drink the Nikolai, but I want her to be more like Grey Goose. I mean, this ain't a battle. It ain't a competition. But the Grey Goose is going to get you drunk just like the Nikolai, but it's going to be smooth. Smooth. At least that's what they say. Like, I don't know. I used to drink Grey Goose. I thought it was pretty good. But it ain't like Absolute wouldn't do the same thing. That middle shelf liquor be doing his numbers, you know, the Sky vodka in the blue bottle. I always like the bottle with the Sky vodka, Smirnoff, Absolute, other little brands, you know, and premium vodka. They had a lot of that shit going on in the 80s and in the late 90s and early 2000s. Hey, there was a new vodka coming out all the time, all the time. Okay. Buttercup says, I'm not putting a drop of food in my mouth for the rest of the show. Why? We can't see you. I bet you I won't put a drop of food in my mouth for the rest of the show either. I promise. Stacey White says, nothing wrong with makeup. I mean, you do you. I say everything is wrong with makeup. You know, there's a difference of opinion. I know one thing. You, my girl, you ain't gonna have that shit on. I mean, when we go somewhere, you ain't wearing that shit. I can guarantee you ain't gonna have none of that shit on. None. Nope. Face gonna be clean as shit. Like I could take an alcohol pad and wipe your face and your forehead and all that shit. That should be like, damn, did you wipe it? Like, yeah, man, you know, that shit clean. We ain't doing that. Now I ain't saying that you can't wear it. I'm just saying you can't be out with me and have it on. I know that's some Leo shit, right? Now I don't tell women how to wear their hair. I don't tell them how to dress. I don't do none of that shit. But I'm saying, if you're gonna be with me, I gotta keep myself looking a certain kind of way. You gotta do the same thing. You can't be Jekyllin and hiding it with me. Like, so you, with the makeup, you Dr. Jekyll, or which one? Which Dr. Hyde? I mean, Mr. Hyde was the monster, right? Yeah, you can't be Dr. Jekyll with the makeup on and then be Mr. Hyde when you have it on. Come on, man. You gotta have some balance. I gotta at least be able to recognize you. Okay. Grown woman says, you rude and insensitive. You know what? You don't have to be so condescending. You know what I mean? You don't have to be so condescending. You're bad as I was or am. Whatever. Grown woman says, if you lost them, were they really your friends? Yeah, I think they were. But see, because the thing is, nobody wants to be around somebody that makes them uncomfortable. Nobody wants to be around somebody that makes them uncomfortable. Now, there have been times when I was flipping the mouth or just didn't say the right things, not necessarily trying to hurt anybody's feelings. And I think that was probably how I got away with a lot of things. But when I look back on them, because I didn't used to put a lot of thought into the things that I said. I thought it was okay to just be honest and be like that out the gate. I had to realize, like, my pop really helped me out a lot. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, you can't do that. I'm like, well, do what? He made me start thinking about the things that I did and the things that I said. Because he never spoke bad about anybody outright. Like, between me and him, he'd be like, yeah. But one thing that my dad had, he had a lot of tact. He definitely watched his mouth and was careful with the words that he used. Okay. Cheryl Halsey says, you talk like my husband. No makeup. No makeup. All makeup is fine. Okay. He said no makeup. All makeup is fine. All makeup is fine to you. But he says no makeup. If he talk like me, he's saying no makeup. Buttercup says face beauty treatment day for me today. I love rocking it. Makeup with or without, I'm still confident, beautiful, and he can't stop kissing me. He's seen I woke up this face. Well, if you're beautiful with makeup on or off, why would you ever wear it? I don't know. That just doesn't add up to me. I mean, honestly, if you beautiful with it or without it, why would there ever be a need for it? Because to me, that's just a cost. Makeup ain't cheap. You ever go to the makeup counter? I'm sure there's women here. Y'all know how much that shit. Makeup ain't cheap. Putting the face on every day ain't cheap. Shit, you can spend hundreds and hundreds. Shit ain't cheap. I seen chicks over at the MAC counter. I used to mess with this chick that worked at the MAC counter. She sold this shit and she used it while she was there because she had to. She didn't wear that shit out in the streets. I guess she was Superman and Macy's, but she was Clark Kent out in the streets. I would have used Superwoman, but I don't know Superwoman's street name or whatever. Same thing as Catwoman. Same thing as Wonder Woman. I don't remember their names. I don't remember their regular name. Stacey says he is rude sometimes. Man, no the fuck I ain't. All right, Buttercup says yes, a little perfume, very minimal makeup, and a classy attitude. It's okay. I mean, listen, whatever you do for yourself is okay. But I'm saying, if you my woman and we go out, you're not gonna have none of that on. Trust. We gonna be Netflixing and chill. Like I said, no, not fucking playing. Now, have I ever let some get away with it? Yes, but I live to regret it. It's important to just be on the same page. Okay. Grown woman says, yes, Buttercup. I only wear lip gloss, no color, just to moisturize my lips. What? Lip gloss ain't no damn makeup. What are you talking about? With your wet lip looking self. I just got finished drinking water looking self. What you doing? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Stacey White says, I didn't wear makeup when I was in high school, but I love makeup now. She says, because I'm a female and that's the way we are. All of them don't wear that. All of them don't. TK Wright says, I don't wear makeup unless it's an occasion. I work too hard to maintain this chocolatey goodness. Well, look at you. Chocolatey goodness. Chocolatey. 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 Work too hard for this chocolatey goodness. You understood this. Work too hard for this chocolatey goodness. Understood this. Work too hard for this chocolatey goodness. Understood this. Work too hard for this chocolatey goodness. I work too hard to be chocolatey. Yo, you ain't putting that shit on top of me. Yo, keep it away from my face unless I'm going to a wedding. Yeah, stick in space. You understand what I'm talking about. When I got a lot of makeup, that shit is out. It's not going down. Don't mess around. Yo, I ain't looking at shit. I'm looking like clowns. Okay, all right. Buttercup says, yes, grown woman. Minimal is still a lady and beautiful. TK Wright says, I do love mascara because my top lid has a natural dark line. Okay. Grown woman says, my lips aren't wet, sir. Why would I read that? Why in my mind am I thinking that sounds like a sexual reference? Is it just me? Why do I feel like you should have put no Diddy after that grown woman? Why is it just me? Because it could just be me. Is it just me? I mean, she said, my lips aren't wet, sir. Sounds to me like you should learn how to watch your mouth. I think you need to choose your words more wisely, grown woman. Don't try me. After all, you a grown woman. You know what I mean? And people ain't supposed to try you, right? Okay. Grown woman says good skincare is essential. I agree. Buttercup says, you're not going to win. This host. I'm not sure if I know what that means. Stacey says, I gave up enough. I'm not giving up my makeup, period. The right man come along. You'll do anything he tell you to do. Recco says, yo. And yeah, look, this is what we're not gonna do. Now, I mean, first of all, I didn't mean to start a movement of these makeup enthusiasts and champions for clown makeup. This is not what we came here for. This is not what we gonna do. But this is what we are gonna do. Y'all women who love men will do anything a man tell y'all to do if you love him to death and he piping you right. Anything he say you'll do, you'll take into consideration. Like, yeah, that's my baby. But he want me to fucking jump off a bridge with him on some bungee cord shit. I'm scared of heights. Plus, I don't think it's a good idea. You know, people have gotten hurt. But damn, last night, he made me bust 4 times. I mean, to say he took my soul, I had to go to him to get my soul back, and I still only got half a soul. Plus, I loved the fuck out of this man. Goddamn. So I'm not gonna tell my friends, I'm not gonna tell my family, but I am going to jump off the bridge with this motherfucker. God damn it. Fuck out of here. Who y'all think y'all talking to? Y'all be considering all kinds of shit that don't make no goddamn sense if y'all love a man. You think I don't know that shit? I know what I know. Hit the like button, y'all. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is, I feel like I'm off track. The difference between speaking your mind and being honest. That's what we talk about. Ah, man. Grown says, because it's just you. And you're trying me now, damn it. Buttercup says, I wore makeup all the night I met my babe. He kept staring, but like most men, he fronting on the makeup now. Now I'm hollering. Yeah. Stacy White says, really? TK Wright says, you're correct. We will make concessions for the right man. And TK Wright says, not just any man, though. Stacy says, I hope you get on a Ferris wheel, and I hope she rocks that Ferris wheel, too. No, I'll rock the Ferris wheel. I ain't scared of no damn Ferris wheel. I ain't scared of heights. I can swim. I'm not scared of the water. I'm not scared of bugs. I'm not scared of mice. I'm not scared of raccoons. I'm not scared of horses. I'm not scared of lions. I'm not scared of tigers, bears, tin men, scarecrows, Oz, gargoyles. I ain't scared of none of that shit. Only thing that scares me is the evil of men. That's the only thing. I ain't scared of the moon, the stars, space. There are two things that I fear. And one of them is being terminally ill, and the other one is the evil of men. Because there is nothing on this earth to fear except for the evil of man. That shit, human beings are treacherous. Male and female. The evil of man is the only thing in this world that concerns me. Because the shit that I've seen man do, heard of the things that he does, seen the things that he tries to justify. There's no, you know how people say, I fear no man except for God. Stop fucking lying. Because you ain't never run from God, but you ran from a man. You might have ran from a bunch of them because you was outnumbered, but you ran from them. So don't tell me you don't fear no man but God, because you're lying. Just saying. Okay. Buttercup says, ain't no jumping off no bridges. Well, hopefully one day, your situation, gets you in, warrants you having a little bit more consideration. I'm just saying. Stacy says, you talking to Stacy Yvette. Okay, well, right here it says Stacy White. So tell Stacy Yvette, and I don't normally say this, but I'm going to say it this one time. Tell Stacy Yvette that I said what I said. I hate when people say that shit because they normally say it when they don't know what the fuck they talking about. But this particular time, I do. So I'm going to tell Stacy Yvette that I said what I said. I said what I said. And add on a God damn it. I said what I said, God damn it. Tell her I said that shit. Nicole Ellis, what's good? How you feeling, ma? Good to see me some you. Good to see me some you. All right. So now that we got the crowd warm, I think we can do this. We can do this poll question now. I think we might be able to do a poll question now. Oh, by the way, so the clippers that I ordered last week, remember they sent me a used pair of clippers where the box was open, the package was open, everything was open, the blades was already oiled up and all of that shit. I took them back to Kohl's because I bought them off Amazon. I took them back to Kohl's. They sent me out another pair. And to me, that pair seemed a little suspect too. I wasn't 100% sure that it wasn't right. You know, they look newer. The package looked a little newer than the last one. But I even made a video about it if y'all go check it out. But anyway, I shaved my shit. I shaped my shit up with the joint. I had to adjust. I went and adjusted the blades because I know how to do that. I adjusted the blades real good. And you know what I mean? So I was straight. And the joint is sharp. I got them blades sharp as shit. You know what I mean? Like when I cut, I had to get the alcohol popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, this joint sharp. What y'all think? Mm-hmm. We all we got. Okay. Buttercup says poll question excuses. Nicole Ellis says I love that hoodie. Thank you. Check it out, right? Let me show y'all this one. Under here, I started to wear it open. Under here, I got my Eagles gear under here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can wear my Eagles gear under here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, you know, when you Super Bowl champions, you know what I mean? You can rock your shit. You can rock your shit. But you know. But I said, I'm cold shit. I'm cold shit. It's cold out there today. Speaking of it being cold out there today, a lot of people thought the spring was coming because we had a couple of warm days over the past week and a half. It's cold as fuck. Old man Winter was like, nah, hold my beer. Y'all out here fronting like y'all know me. Y'all out here fronting like I'm not who I am. Old man Winter was like, yo, don't try to sell me short. Don't try to act like I'm not who I am. And like I don't do what I do. TK Wright says, great job, looks nice. Thank you. Grown woman says, I'm wearing my championship hoodie today too. Yeah, baby. Super Bowl champions. This shit is gonna last till next year. I pledge that if we won the Super Bowl, I will be obnoxious and for the whole year until we won another one next year. And trust and believe, I will not disappoint. I'm gonna keep my promise. Nicole says that's my team. That's what I'm talking about. And thank you. Appreciate it. Buttercup says he all right. That's all right. My mama loved me. My mama told me I was handsome. I don't need nobody. Speaking it into existence. They shit is dope. I ain't gotta speak it into existence. The Eagles are the best team I ever saw. I'm not even playing. I watch football. That team that won this Super Bowl this year was the best. They was not only the best Eagles team I ever saw, they was the best team I ever saw. I ain't never seen no shit like that in my life. I ain't never seen no Super Bowl like that in my life. You know what I mean? The Chiefs, we made them look like the Braves. They look like the Squaws. You know what I'm saying? And dynasty. We the dynasty killers. Remember the Patriots tried to three-peat on us. No. Then Chiefs come through like, yeah, we about to three-peat and make history. Whoop that ass so bad. Ow, belt the ass. Ow. Stop. Yo, ref, help me. Nah. Stacey White says, I'm going to pray for you. Thank you. It ain't enough people out here praying for me. You know what I'm saying? You ever get in a fight with somebody because they ain't pray for you? I heard you last night, and I didn't hear my name in them prayers. Nah? All right, let me get this poll question going. All right. Okay. Here's the poll question. Here's the poll question. Do you think that it's possible to be honest all the time and be right all the time? Let me repeat it. Do you think that it's possible to be honest all the time and be right all the time? And by being right, I mean not only be correct, but to be doing the right thing, saying the right thing, and whatever all the time. Do you think that is possible? I mean, some might say yes. Some might say no. Let's see how it go. All right. So the difference between speaking your mind and being honest. You know, that debacle between JD Vance, Donald Trump, and President Zelensky of Ukraine was the most despicable, orchestrated, because I really believe that they planned this together. Because what was JD Vance doing there? For what? Like, to do what? Why are you vice president of the United States questioning the president of another country? Normally the vice president stays out of the way. He just follows the lead of the president. Well, he did follow the lead of the president. But to humiliate that man on stage and then to try to gaslight him and act like he disrespected them and the American public because he stood up for his own country, and he wouldn't say that the man who invaded his country and violated peace orders and all of that was a good guy, was an okay guy. Well, all right. So I guess with the way that Donald Trump is, I guess you could say that he was being honest. He doesn't tell the truth, but he's very honest in the way that he is. I'll give him that. I don't appreciate his brand of authenticity, of honesty. I don't appreciate anything about him, to be honest. And I'm being honest. But I can't say that he acted out of character. Now, I believe that both of them spoke their mind. Might have been a out of their mind that they were speaking from, but I believe that both of them spoke their mind. Was it the right thing to do? Maybe for them it was. I honestly believe that their motivation was to just be able to cut off the peace talks in the first place, because I don't think that Donald Trump could actually provide weaponry and or cash to Ukraine and not piss off Vladimir Putin, which I honestly believe he is in bed with, he is colluding with, that he has a quid pro quo with. I don't think he could do that. So I think what he probably told JD Vance was like, look, get this man to look like he's pissing us off. We'll tell him off, and then we can cut off aid. But we have to find a way for us to not get to that peace talk table, because we cannot provide for this man. I think that's what happened. Now, what comes after that is what I don't think a lot of Americans really understand. I don't think people understand the fallout of what they did. I don't think they understand the international implications that are going to follow what happened on Friday afternoon. I don't think they get it. We'll see. We'll see. But that's the kind of honesty that I don't appreciate. But you look at Donald Trump. You look at somebody like Donald Trump, and a lot of people consider him to be a strong man. I don't know where they get this shit from, but they consider him to be a strong man. They consider him to shoot from the hip and to talk, the way to talk from his heart and express the way that he honestly feels. That's what a lot of people really think about him. And they've expressed that since what happened on Friday. They tell you, yeah, he stood up for America. He stood up for himself, and he told that man off. Never in my life would I ever think that I would see a bunch of men praising a man for telling a man off. That used to be the most pussy, punk ass thing that a man could do. It wasn't that long ago when I came from the put up or shut up era. I don't come from the era where men, went back and forth and dissed each other. I mean, we played the dozens, your mama jokes and all of that kind of stuff. But when it got serious, a man always knows when to stop playing around with a dude, or don't say things that are going to make him react to you, because you might not be ready for the reaction that you get. So most men, real men, know to watch their mouths, and they look down on a man who called his jaw into question. And what I mean by that is, normally when a man keeps mouthing off to another man, he gets punched in the mouth. So you're calling your jaw into question when you keep mouthing off with a man. Now, they knew they had this man in a position where he couldn't do anything like that. They knew they had this man in a position where his country is in peril. His, the state of his people are at war, and he needs all the help that he can get. So, they're trying to manipulate him into basically kissing the ring and bowing down and all of that. And I wonder what would have happened if Zelensky would have done it. I think they knew that he wouldn't do it, but I'm wondering what would have happened if he would have just kept his mouth shut and said, All right, let's go get the deal done. I wonder what would have happened. I don't think that they would have let it happen. I think they would have kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Because that part that we saw on Friday wasn't supposed to be televised. And Donald Trump said, this is going to be great television. He said that. He said it, if you were listening. So I'm pointing out this example to show, or to call into question, how, just because you're being honest, or just because you're speaking your mind, doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing the right things, saying the right things, or being the right way. But you will say certain things to certain people that are not a threat to you. That's like kids, like children. If you let if a child doesn't believe that you'll ever spank them, pop them, pluck them, and I'm not saying that you have to deal with your children violently, but if they know that there aren't going to be any repercussions and the child is spoiled, like a child that gets his way and suffers no consequences for bad behavior is a brat beyond belief. And that's not somebody that you really want to deal with. So with Donald Trump, his supporters have you believing that he'll just mouth off to anybody and say anything to anybody. But you don't ever hear him say anything bad about Vladimir Putin. He ain't never strong when it comes to Vladimir Putin. He's never flipped the mouth in any way when it comes to Vladimir Putin. So although when it comes to any of his American constituents, yeah, he's big bad Donald Trump, big rich Donald Trump. Say what he want, do what he want. But when it comes to Vladimir Putin, he watches everything that he says. And you have never heard him say one thing bad about Vladimir Putin. Like, our intel tells us that he's been hacking into our voting machines and interfering with our elections. No, I asked him. He said he didn't do that. So why would I think that he did? He said he didn't do it. He didn't say like, we're gonna keep an eye on him because it do look a little suspicious to me. And we know how he does with the elections in his own country. He didn't say none of that. Not one bad word about Vladimir Putin. So he knows who to talk to, all greasy, and who to shut the fuck up about or to. Grown woman says, right, no one is right all the time. Honest people can be honest some of the time. Buttercup says no, because people aren't perfect, and that's okay. Stacy says, I don't think that somebody should tell somebody else business, even if it is honest. Well, what if that person, what if their business is being a pedophile or an abuser? What about then? So yeah, that he been, that this old head been messing around with these young girls and manipulating them, or maybe even young boys, manipulating them and sexually assaulting them and all of that. But should we keep it a secret? Should we just mind our business? Should we just turn away? Turn a blind eye, walk the other way, act like we didn't see it? Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. My man Seika Salad just came up in the crib. What's going on, my peoples? Good to see me some of you. Please, y'all, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. All right. Grown woman says Vance is an asswipe, even worse than Trump. Yeah, because he's definitely a dick rider and an opportunist. He'll do and say whatever he needs to. Grown woman says take a careful look at what Trump wanted. Yeah, you talking about with the minerals and all of that kind of shit. So transactional diplomacy. That's what we're looking at now. So yeah, I'll be diplomatic with you. I'll help you out if you're in trouble, but you got to do this for me. Like the rest of the world not paying attention to this. Grown women don't try me. Remember how bad the Eagles were off, how bad off the Eagles were after Chip Kelly? Remember he was coach of the Eagles and he got rid of Deshaun Jackson, got rid of Shady McCoy. He was trying to bring his old college players in, people that he had coached. Remember how we were fucked up? We were fucked up behind that. Watch the state of the United States when Donald Trump is finished putting us through this meat grinder. When he's finished putting this government through the wood chipper. Watch. This thing is about to be horrific. He's about to take us to an America First level that we are not prepared for. We'll see. We'll see. Look at this. OG Crash Out Man says Eagles suck. Ha ha. Being a Super Bowl champion allows me to ignore that bullshit. Because it sounds dumb. It does. Like, if we had lost that Super Bowl, oh my God. Honestly, if we had lost that Super Bowl, it wouldn't have mattered how many Super Bowls we win afterwards, because we would have let the Chiefs three-peat, and for the rest of this year, I wouldn't have been able to watch no sports commentary. I probably wouldn't be able to watch sports at all. I would have had to just suck it up. But that didn't happen. We whooped the Chiefs' ass. We whooped everybody ass in the playoffs. The Rams gave us a nice little joint. But I mean, we was whooping their ass in the last 5 minutes too. You know, Matthew Stafford, he did what he could. What up, Art of Mine 559? What's good? Good to see you all the time. Grown woman says he's Putin's puppet. I mean, I don't see how you can ignore that. Sega Sala says Trump G-checked Zelensky. Actually, he didn't. If you really listen to it, like Zelensky held his own. It was 2 against 1. He was like, yeah, well, whatever. I mean, did he fold? Because a G-check is when you fold. Did he say, nah, all right, y'all, you got it. When you G-check somebody, they stand down. Did he stand down? He didn't do that. Now, he had every reason to stand down. He needs the United States. He flew in while his country is fighting, while his soldiers are fighting for their lives and for their country. He flew in here to try to get some weapons and maybe some cash, some resources. So he had every reason to be like, all right, man, whatever, man. Just can we get a deal? But he didn't do that. He said, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I guess I gotta find another way. But this is what's not gonna happen. Y'all not gonna make me talk good about no fucking Putin. You ain't gonna make me talk good about you. Ask me, have I said thank you? I've thanked y'all plenty of times. JD Vance said, you campaigned in August for the opposition. Did y'all hear when he said that part? He said, you campaigned in August for the opposition, and now you here asking us for money. The opposition was in power. They were the president. Why would any fucking body with a brain side with the regime that's not in power when you need help right then and there? Donald Trump couldn't do shit for him until he became president. He said so. Donald Trump said, I can only do this as a head of state. I can't do it until I get elected. When he was lying, saying that he would end the conflict within 24 hours of becoming president. It's been way more 24 hours. So, but it is what it is. But yeah, when you G-checked him, far from that. He told him, yeah, you need me. And look, I ain't giving you nothing. From the G's I know, that's not a G-check. A G-check is more like, yo, homie, you better shut the fuck up before you get smoked out here. And then he shuts the fuck up, before he gets smoked out here. That's a G-check. That man left the Oval Office with his head held high, and he didn't sign the agreement to sign over the minerals. Said, nah, I'm good. Hey, yo, y'all got it. Thank you, American people, American public, and all of that shit. Thanks for everything y'all did for me. Thanks for flying me in. I'm about to be out, though. Okay. Once upon a time, right now. All right. Roman says he really didn't. He says, see ya. He didn't stand down. He didn't. Roman says, I think he took a stand and it was country first. They asked this man, why doesn't he wear a suit? The fuck are you talking about? Do you ever wear a suit? Do you own? You know, you have the highest office in the land, and you don't even, what the fuck is it? Who the fuck is, who is this asking me this question? Do I own a suit? My soldiers over there dying. Imagine me wearing a suit like y'all, trying to act like I'm the fuck out of here. Yo, if Donald Trump G-checked him, it looked to me like Zelensky might have G-checked J.D. Vance. You see the part where he said, hey, you ever been to my country and see what's going on over there? He asked him, have you been to my country to see what's going on over there? Because Biden went over there. He saw what was going on, like, oh yeah, this shit fucked up. Trump ain't go over there. He can't go over there. Putin said he can't go over there. J.D. Vance couldn't go over there. And did you hear how J.D. Vance answered the question? He answered the question like, I have seen what's going on over there and blah, blah. Like, no, nigga, you ain't been over there. You don't know what he knows. You haven't seen what he's seen. You're not in the position that he is. You're the vice president. He's the actual president. He's trying to get something done. You're trying to obstruct something. We are not the same. Now, I'm not pro Ukraine. I'm definitely pro America, but not Trump's America. I'm not pro none of that. That motherfucker is, there was a movie out there. Remember The Omen? I think it was Damien Omen 3. It was Damien Omen 3 where Damien was running for president of the United States. And, Damien is a devil. He's a demon. Well, in this Damien Omen 3, Trump actually became president. And the way that this movie is going is mad horrific. It's going bad. And it ain't, and they not rolling the credits yet. They haven't started rolling the credits yet. This movie is still going on. Let me see. Artemon says, I'm confused about that minerals deal unless both Putin and Trump benefits. I think only Trump was going to benefit from that. But the thing is, when you help a country out in war, you don't do it as an exchange for something. It doesn't work that way. So he's dealing in all transactional politics. And other countries are seeing that and they like, oh, the United States is on some shit now. This ain't that hard. This would just be like when you go to your favorite restaurant, I don't know, breakfast sandwich or whatever, and they always looked out for you. Like, let's say you get beef sausage, egg and cheese on a bagel or something like that, just as an example. And maybe a hash brown or something like that, coffee or whatever. And let's say it was always a flat price of $5 for you. Always a flat price, $5. They took care of you because you're a regular customer. So they already, every time you come in, they already know what it is. They know what you want. They fix it the way you want. You keep it moving. All of a sudden, they got a new manager. A new manager to the place comes in and you took out your $5 to pay for this breakfast sandwich. Number one, they didn't have it ready for you. They made you ask for what you wanted. You're like, Normally, as soon as y'all see my face, y'all start making it. But all right, yeah, I want a beef sausage, egg and cheese on a bagel, a hash brown, and a medium coffee. Oh, okay. So they get it for you. And then when they bring it to you, They like, all right, 750. Like 750, it's $5. And they like, oh no, new manager, 750. 750, sir. So you realize like, oh, ain't no more $5, ain't no $5 meal deals for you. 7.5. Now you got to make the decision about whether you want to continue to be there or not, because you're not special anymore. This is not about you anymore. Your meal is not going to be, your breakfast is not going to be ready for you when you get there anymore. That's out. You're going to have to stand behind the counter and ask for what you want and wait. So now there's going to be different times constraints, plus you're paying a little bit more money. Actually, you're paying 50% more. It was $5 and now it's $7.50. Now you have to make a decision about whether you want to pay $7.50 or not. It's all on you, but just know that it's not going down the same way that it used to go. So that's basically what happened with the whole Ukraine thing. Well, should I say, as far as the European alliance is concerned. For years, for decades, for generations, it has been this way. If we're in trouble, we have a pact that we will help each other out against foreign enemies. So if the United States ever needs help, we come in. Y'all don't have to give us nothing. We got you. If we get in a conflict with the enemy, we don't have to give y'all nothing. Y'all come in and y'all help us out. That's the way it's been. Now all of a sudden it's like, nah, well, I'll help you out. But look, this is what I need you to do. I need some gold. I need some diamonds. I need some oil. Bubble gum, shoestring, whatever the fuck I need. And then I'll provide some help for you. Armand says, doesn't wear suits at times. Elon, I haven't seen Elon in no suit, but they would never ask Elon that. They would never ask Elon Musk that. They would never ask him why he doesn't wear a suit. See, they watch their mouth when it comes to Elon, because he gave $270 million to that campaign. So he bought the White House. Whether we like it or not, accept it or not, believe it or not, he bought it. He owns it. So you might not believe that, that whole co-president type shit and all of that shit. You may not believe it, but the proof is in the pudding. Nobody is going to give up over $250 million and not get exactly what he wants out of the deal. Don't go that way. Politics is about money, and it's pay to play. Now, they may mask it and act like and pretend that it's not about paying to play, but you'll see it. You will see the evidence, and you're looking at it right now in HD. I'm sorry, this is HDR. We are talking about high resolution. We might be up to HK right now. I mean 8K. And one woman says, in reality, Elon is the president. He has access to more sensitive info than Trump. And these dumb niggas out here talking about something. Yeah, why should y'all be mad about him uncovering fraud and waste? That'll be money that go back to the American public. I'm like, oh, it'll go back to the American public. See, you got to start back too far to explain how this works for people. But let me make it simple for all of y'all. No matter what happens with the government as far as uncovering fraud and waste, it will not result in any money for you. It's not going to make your paychecks fatter. It's not going to reduce your taxes. None of that shit is going to happen for you. Not you. The government will get their shit together, reduce their debt, and be doing better in the world, in their world standing. Not you. Not you, citizen. You don't get a piece of that pie. That does not. That's why when people be talking about my tax dollars are I don't want my tax dollars. Motherfucker, shut up. You don't know where the fuck your tax dollars going. And this should prove it. So regardless of whether Obama's the president, Bush is the president, Biden's the president, Trump is the president, you don't determine where your tax money goes. You pay and shut the fuck up. That's what you have the right to do. Because as soon as you try to determine where your tax money should go because of what you thought, what causes you think that they should fund, then they let you know exactly who's the boss. And you keep playing around with their money, they're going to come and audit your ass and lock your ass up if you act like you don't want to pay. That's how that goes. You pay and shut the fuck up. I don't my tax. How much you pay in taxes, sir? I mean, really, do you pay in a calendar year, in a fiscal year? Do you pay $20,000 in taxes? Because I don't know where they think this money is going, where your tax money is going. Fuck around, be retired people talking that shit. Oh, my tax money is fuck out of here. You don't determine where your tax money is going. Some of y'all got bank accounts and y'all still don't know where y'all money is going. When you put your money in a bank, do you tell the bank? Do you tell Wells Fargo, Citizen? And I'm sorry, what is it? TD Bank, PNC, Santander. Do you tell any of those banks, Police and Fire Credit Union? Do you tell them, listen, when I put my money in this bank, I want y'all invested in certain shit that works for me. As a matter of fact, I want a cut of whatever y'all invest my money in. You don't do that shit. Not only do you not ask where they are sending the money, you pay any fees that they tell you, like, well, you know, in order for you not to have to pay a monthly fee of $2 to $5, or maybe even $10 or $15, you got to keep a minimum balance in your account. Because if you don't keep at least $100 in your account, then you're gonna wish you was. You're gonna wish you would. You don't control where the money that you have deductions from goes. You don't control that. But I can guarantee you, I'm not right about a whole lot of shit, but I'm right on this one. You ain't getting none of it back. None of it. And don't tell me about your little tax refund that you got, your little refund check. Shit, you know how much you put out versus what you got back? Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to y'all who don't be getting none back. Y'all be bitching every year like, I got to pay taxes. I got to cut them a check for $900. I got to cut them a check for $2,000. Shit is pathetic. Everybody who has their taxes automatically deducted from their paycheck should get a refund check. But does it work that way? No. What have you done about it? Nothing. What you going to do about it? Nothing. Yeah, you want to? Yeah, I don't. My tax dollars funding no Ukraine, $350 billion. Y'all got that fucked up. We didn't give $350 billion to no Ukraine. We gave them some weapons, some old weapons that we would have had to dispose of because we are so technologically advanced that we don't use that shit. So here, you take some old tanks. Here, man, take these guns, all this shit. You know what I mean? Listen, we got a bunch of artillery over here. $350 billion worth. Here, take that shit. You ain't give them no cash. Nowhere near no $350 billion. I'm like, yo, don't let them fucking Republicans tell y'all any fucking thing. All right, anyway. I ain't want to talk about all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Grown woman says the hookup is over now. Full Metal Chad says the world is getting expensive. He says even America is having trouble paying the bills. They've always had a problem paying the bills. Always. The United States is always in debt to somebody. Full Metal Chad says, remember when Elon and Obama were best friends? No, I don't remember that. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know about best friends. I don't throw that term around loosely. But I can imagine Elon was a lifelong Democrat. So was Trump. That's why I'm looking at both of them now like, what are we talking about? That's why there has to be money on the table. There's gotta be. Elon used to fund Democratic elections and campaigns. Let it get up, man. I ain't gonna just talk out my ass. I don't want to just be talking out my ass. Did Elon Musk used to fund Democratic campaigns?
According to Wikipedia, despite being registered as independent and historically donating to and voting for both Democrats and Republicans, his political contributions have since shifted almost entirely to right-leaning or far-right candidates and politicians, outright stating in 2022 that he will no longer support Democrats.
No longer support Democrats since 2022. So before then, he supported Democrats. It is what it is. So, look, he's a businessman. He's going to go where the money is. And that's what he did now. So he had to have had a deal. You gonna put $270 million out? You gonna put $270 million out just because you think somebody is a great guy? Man, you must be crazy. Kim's Wims, what's good? How you feeling, my? Good to see me some you. You already know. Full Metal says, yes, sir. Trump and Elon flip-flop to follow the money, without a doubt. Tide, what's good, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. All day, every day. Kim says, uh-oh, what did I walk in on, man? You already, look. Kim says, are we talking about the White House doofus speaking his mind? What little he has, and being honest, because he has failed both. Well, we didn't start off talking about that. I was just using this as an example. I'm so sick of talking about these bastards. I don't know what to do. I really am. But I understand that in our country right now, this is a train wreck, and you're not going to be able to turn your head away from the rubble of the twisted metal of a train wreck. You want to find out who got hurt, if anybody needs help. Like, is there going to be more danger following this? Same thing with American politics right now. This chaotic motherfucker is going to prevent you from ever being able to turn your TV off or your devices. Johnny West, what's good? And Joe, good to see you, my dude. Good to see you. Without a doubt. One woman says, I truly didn't sign up for this train wreck. Trust me. Even people who signed up for it didn't know that they were signing up for this. And I'm like, how the fuck didn't y'all know? Like, what are you talking about? I don't want to hear that shit y'all talking about. I didn't know that he was. So everything he was doing besides this that affects you was okay? Man, that's ridiculous. I don't want to hear that, but I don't want to hear none of that bitching, man. I know this. I went to the supermarket the other day and I spent a lot of money and only got a little bit. I know that. I spent a lot of money and only had a little bit. And I don't expect that to change. But you know, I thought about this shit because it looks like we're not going to get none of those economy promises that were made. So I'm prepared to just adjust my diet to what I can afford. And I ain't even going to bitch about this shit no more. Because I wholeheartedly want this shit to fail. And I want it to fail bad. So if it's hard for me, I know it's harder for the motherfuckers that voted this bastard in. So I take it on the chin. I don't like it. I don't like having to spend a lot of money, especially on something I have to do every day, which is eat. I don't like it. But I'm like, okay. I fucking told you. I told you. She told you. He told you. We told you. Because they still standing up for this cat. They ignoring the fact that they grocery bill high as shit. They gas is high as shit. Everything high.
You have a call.
Everything high. You know, they still defending this bullshit. So as they keep defending it, that means that they're not feeling it hard enough. So I'm willing to wait until the weight is too heavy for them to bear. And I think it's getting close. I think we're getting close. Yeah, I know as a registered Democrat, I'm supposed to hope that the country wins no matter what. Well, I don't. Fuck out of here. I'm not an anti-American. All of my family is here. All of my loved ones are here. Everything that I love is in this country. But sometimes, you got a cat? Sometimes motherfuckers gotta get their ass kicked. Sometimes people gotta get their ass kicked. You know what I mean? Get them back on track. You know, when you was little and you was acting all out and your mom told you to do something and you didn't do it, sometimes you had to. It improved your hearing. Like you couldn't hear your mom telling you to cut it out. You couldn't hear your mom tell you to sit the fuck down. You couldn't hear your dad telling you to chill out. You couldn't hear it. You was hard of hearing. You had too much wax. But you got popped up in the back, popped upside the back of your head. And all of a sudden, it cleared out your auditory canal. Your eardrums was on point. Everything was good. Oh, Dad, I didn't know. I didn't hear what you were saying. I didn't understand. Getting popped up the back side of the back of your head. Yeah, that whiplash. That whiplash helped you understand. It cleared you. It helped you hear better. It increased your understanding. It was almost like going to school. Sometimes that's what it takes. I'm not a proponent of violence, but well-placed violence, I'm all in. Oh, nothing else worked? Nothing? We try. Hold on. You mean to tell me we tried everything? We tried timeout. We tried love. We tried positive reinforcement. We tried gifts. We tried listening. We tried understanding. We tried therapy. We tried all of that. What have we tried? An ass whooping. We ain't try that. We don't waste all this time and money. Yo, Whitney Houston had a song called "How Could You Throw Away a Miracle?" How could you throw away a miracle? I'm just saying. What up, miss? With the last number is 5639. What's good? What's on your mind this afternoon?
You know, every time you have these conversations, I'm going to call in and speak. I was thinking about this. Do you think maybe it's time to start speaking about planning, plans of action, um, details of how to navigate through the chaos that is about to ensue, how to deal with the possibility of a dystopian or dystopian type of living for a minute, and educating people on what to do next. Because even after he's gone, it's going to be such a mess to clean up that it's going to take, I don't know, maybe a decade to get back on track. Like, for example, I have a friend who rode to Chicago this week to take her son to go get his passport to leave with her friends to go to Taiwan and live. And I'm like, you guys do know Taiwan is in as much trouble as we are with him in office. And they aren't fully aware that he is priming China to take forceful control of Taiwan, and the Philippines, some other places, Malaysia, and they didn't know, they weren't aware. And I'm like, that's part of the problem. Education is not out here for anyone. Our mainstream media is not going to show or tell the facts. Like, as much as, like you said, he's talking about, well, he's just a liar. He's just lying about everything, and no one is fact checking him. Some people are, and even when they do and ask questions, he shuts them up at the conferences. Like, I hear people say, I'm not going to watch this speech on Tuesday, the inauguration, whatever it is. This, what is it? What is the Council of the Nation? Not the inauguration. Whatever, speak to the nation, because I can't think of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
What he's going to speak on Tuesday. And I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to give it ratings and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, how are you going to know what he's talking about? How do you know to counteract his lies? How do you know to prepare? Because he's been lying about Medicaid for the longest, that he's not going to do X, Y, Z. He even told a reporter, as much as I've been saying it, you should know I'm not going to do X, Y, Z to Medicaid. And don't ask me about it again. But as he's saying it, he already signed off on what they put in motion to cut Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just a liar out the gate. And so I wonder, maybe it's time to start having real heart-to-heart discussions. We have no space for in-house discussions anymore. I think the way this works is we start talking about what to do next, how to survive, how to navigate. We should be talking about, okay, the cost of eggs are high because that seems to be the only focus, but the cost of everything is high. I just bought some groceries. I probably got 7 items.
Yeah. Shit is serious. Shit is serious.
Like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Like, deodorant is $12. Are you kidding me? $12 for deodorant? What?
Facts.
So I'm just saying, it is everything. And we're blessed for what we have. That's true. We're blessed for what we have. I complain about my house all the time, but thank God I got a roof over my head when the others don't. And it's mine for the most part, But I think about the young moms, the young dads who have children who rely on Section 8 or rely on any kind of social service for their survival. How do they make it out here? How do they survive? I can't put too much more effort into worrying about what this fool is doing and his minions. I need to now focus on helping others and myself. Like my dad is like, okay, family, we need to put together a family plan. If all goes to hell, what house are we going to come together in? Where are we going to shelter in place as a family? Those are the kind of conversations I think we should be having. I think we should be sharing information for these people who are trying to figure out, okay, if he cuts food stamps, how am I going to feed my kids? You know, how to make meals stretch. Because, you know, son, you and I come from, I believe we are the last generation of people who understand this. And it's not playing the age baby boomer, Gen X against the millennial thing. It's not that. It's just the fact we are the last generation because we are in the middle. We come from the boomer generation and listening to old heads, and we fit in because we were latchkey kids. We were the last to know about going outside and playing and all that kind of stuff. So we know these things. We know how to navigate this kind of life enough. But the next generation and the ones after that, they know nothing, especially these last group of tech babies. They absolutely won't know how to survive. They don't know anything but getting on TikTok and following some TikTok recipes that are not realistic for the average income. So maybe that's how we're going to be able to survive. You know, we just lost a loved one, and as much as I want to be sad, there's a part of me that's like, God, I'm so glad you got out of here. That's a horrible thing to say and a horrible way to feel, but that's where I'm at. I'm so glad you got out of here.
Here's the thing. I'm not going nowhere.
I'm not either.
I mean, because why should I have to go anywhere? I'm not going to allow one man to run me and my peoples out of the country, my country of origin. This is as old to me as it anybody else. I mean, as it is anybody else. And I don't think that the majority of people aren't going to let him do that anyway. I mean, either. But the thing is, right now, a lot of people don't want to eat crow. They don't want to be wrong. You know, and accepting accountability, accepting reality, accepting that, you know, sometimes you have to go back to the lab and regroup or whatever. Accepting a loss is not an easy thing, especially when you have won all of the playoffs, but you're losing the championship. It's a humbling experience. But everybody has to be humbled at some point, and as much as people try to take on the personality or what they perceive to be the personality characteristics or the emotions of the commander in chief right now, they can't do what he does. They can't feel how he does. They don't have access to that, but they think that they do because, you know, he's the first social media president, and this is what's going on. So that shit that happened on Friday, that was WWE shit. It was social media shit. It went down exactly how you watch those skits on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok or whatever. It looked like a skit. It really did, because it wasn't supposed to be televised, but it was, and it was televised on purpose. And just like when you watch those skits, like arguing between a man and a woman, a husband and wife, a boyfriend, whatever, cheating, or problems with the kids and all that kind of shit. Just like you watch those and you never hear anybody say like, yo, get that camera out my face. Yo, you don't be taping me when we doing this shit. I saw those same properties with what happened on Friday. But there's a reason for all of this. You know, social media has engineered our thinking in a lot of negative ways. It's not totally negative, but it has skewed our reality. Because just like before you came on, I was talking about how never before in history did men praise other men for cussing somebody out. That's where we are now. That's what manhood has become because of Trump. That's what strength has become because of Trump. I never heard a man praise or say that somebody else was strong because they cussed somebody out or because they gave somebody a piece of their mind. It was an admirable trait when it was done respectfully and when it was done as a necessity. But just to do that shit like, yeah, fuck you think you talking to? Yeah, and I ain't giving you no money. Mm-mm.
Because it's not men who are celebrating a man. It's
Well,
boys celebrating a lunatic.
but
So
let them tell
that's
it.
different.
Let them tell it. The men and the women on that side, they say that this is a show of strength that he's displaying. That's what they're saying. So what's it going to take to reverse that thing and get it back to the reality that we knew? I mean, maybe it won't go back to that reality. You know, just like we can't make America great again, maybe we can't go back to the principles and the values that we held before. Maybe this has to be the new normal, and we have to find a way to live within it or tool it to something that's more recognizable and comfortable for us. Maybe that's what needs to be done. But the bottom line is we got to play the cards that we're being dealt right now. So however it goes, you're going to have to look out for yourself, you and your loved ones, just like you was doing before. But this time the stakes are a little bit higher. But you're not going to tell me from family to family, from neighborhood to neighborhood, from town to town, to township to township, to city to city, the state to state. You're not going to tell me that you have all of these people feeling the same way with the unrest, and that it's just going to go like they're just going to allow this to happen, like they're just going to allow this 4 years to play out. I'm not sure if this is going to make it. I don't know if this whole debacle, this circus, I don't know if it's going to make it past 2000, and I would say maybe 2027. I don't know if it has
Yeah.
the chops to do that. You know what I mean?
It doesn't.
First of all, he's
It
not.
doesn't. I think it's going to struggle to the end of this year.
Well,
And going into next year, I think it's going to really do something bad is going to happen. I do believe in my heart of hearts. I don't know what, but something bad. And I don't mean for the people. I mean to that whole group. Something bad is going to happen and shake their boots off. But it's still going to be damaged.
well, the man is 79 years old. And I know a lot of 80-year-olds, and there's a little something special that happens to people when they turn 80. So it is.
It's just a difference. My dad is 82, and there's a huge difference between the two of them, like a huge difference. Like you couldn't believe my dad is 82 to see this 79-year-old man who could barely walk up the steps. So I don't understand any of it, but
Well, I'll say
we got to do something different.
Definitely. We gotta stop being pussies. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit Hakeem Jeffrey said the other day, hoping, like, basically laying out hope. I'm like, man, you gotta stop acting like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he is not the person, man. He's not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gotta stop acting like a little bitch. Like, you know, you're not going to reason with a bully.
It's only a man who can do it. That's the thing. Everybody got to stop thinking it's only a man can do it. That's the problem with this country.
Well,
that's the reason why Hillary didn't win. That's the reason why Kamala, some of the reasons. But this country is never going to accept a woman leading anything good.
Well,
that's fine.
That doesn't mean that a woman can't. She may not be president of the United States, but it doesn't mean that she can't have the influence of a president of the United States. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Hakeem is not the person.
He ain't. I thought, a couple of times I thought he had a couple of flashes and all that. He's soft. He's soft.
Me, never. I thought he was the person ever.
He moves like somebody got something on him. That's how he moves. I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, I hope that they do that. Hope, nigga, what? Fuck you think this is? You Jesse Jackson or somebody? We don't go somewhere with that bullshit. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, what I wanted to say was, your dad is already in his 80s, and he probably hasn't led a reckless and ruthless and selfish lifestyle. So the way that one person reaches 80 is different than the way that another person reaches 80. But the thing is, Donald Trump is in denial of the fact that he's approaching 80. He said in 2024, like, I'm not close to 80. I'm like, nigga, you're 79. He said it. Yo, but he said it. But the thing is, so with that level of delusion, it's going to get, after a while, the things that he says and does are going to start to be indefensible. They already have
Sorry.
to people who have good sense, but it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. So I mean, we got to be a little bit more patient. You know, you gonna pay that money. You gonna drive your car. You gonna pay that high ass gas. You gonna pay that. You want to eat eggs. It's gonna cost you. Or and then everything else in the grocery stores, your electronics, everything else, everything is gonna be high. But that's what it's going to take in order to break this thing. Because at some point, his ideas have to stop being looked at as good, because it needs to affect those people who keep trying to say that he has good ideas. Right now, there's still people who can duck and dodge and hide and creep by and all of that. They have to be put in a position where they got to get that wristband in order to get in that party. You know what I mean? That's where it has to go. So, listen, man.
I see the Nicolas again out there. He needs to break that pen and keep signing stuff. Ooh, I wish he could do some things with that pen. I'm not going to say, but I wish he could. I just want to add in here, son, you are the perfect example of village. And I think that's one of the things we have to go back to is the village. You know, I grew up in communities and villages of people networking together to make things happen for the good of everyone. And I just think that's kind of the direction we have to get back to. And it's just for the people who want to, like I feel about family. We could be related, but if you don't want to be family, you don't have to be. Don't put off my back, because there's a whole world of people who could be family without you. So that's what we have to do for the people who are willing and ready to move as a unit. And that's who we speak to, people who are willing and ready to move as a unit. Because everybody's not going to be able to do it. Everybody's not going. You just got to hear it telling some people sometimes. Hey, if you don't want to go down and fall in the lake and hang out at the house, if that's what you want to do, but the rest of us moving forward. And I just think that's what it's going to take, us sharing information, working together. And I'm sorry, I may not be the person, because I'm going to be honest in my truth when I speak my mind on this. That boycott on Friday was the dumbest thing I have experienced in a while, because it was so unorganized and just chaos, and there's so much misunderstanding about it. So much. Black people thought it was about Black people when they announced it on the world news, but I mean it was for everybody. And it was so miscommunicated. In any case, if you want to do something impactful, people compared it to the Montgomery boycott. I'm like, do you understand that doesn't even make logical sense to compare the two? So the times are so different, and the way we lived were so different.
Mm-hmm.
So this now is time to take time to organize much better for the good of all of us. And I'm not just talking about, for me, it's not just here in the United States. I always say I have a global backyard. This is for everybody around the globe, all of us. We just got to work together as a unit, however many people it takes. And it may be just in pockets and groups of people. And it's not a movement. It's just us trying to survive. Mm-hmm. So that's my take on it. Educate.
I'll say this about the blackout. Two things. Well, maybe even more. I supported the blackout, and I think it was a good thing. And I was glad that it didn't just start. People have been boycotting Target and places like that since they announced it. Since they announced the whole DEI thing, the suspension of the DEI thing. I think I'm glad that it wasn't just Black people, because if it was just Black people, it wouldn't have gotten any coverage. And most Black people won't do the shit anyway. So there's nothing that Black people do, Black Americans do, that pretty much outside of voting Democratic, there aren't too many things that we do collectively. So I predicted that less than 10% of us would participate in the boycott, and I think I was probably more than right about that. But when you say it was disorganized, I think this one was actually more organized than previous boycotts that we tried before, because at least this one had a plan of what they were going to get out of it. I thought about the last so-called notable boycott, and even though this wasn't necessarily a black thing, just like this wasn't, but the NFL boycott when Colin Kaepernick was leading, I guess so-called quasi leading that boycott, because he wasn't saying nothing. Little did we know he had a deal with Nike, so of course he wasn't saying nothing because he was getting paid. But I saw a lot of people boycotting and dissing everybody who were boycotting and all of that. And my question to them was, I was like, first of all, I'm not boycotting the NFL because the NFL don't have nothing fucking do with police brutality. So just because they won't allow Colin Kaepernick to keep kneeling, even though he keeps kneeling, I don't see any reason to boycott that. If you want to make a statement about police brutality or about racism and all of that, you don't do it at your fucking job. I'm sorry. I know you can feel like you have the right to do it, but you don't. So just like if I went to my job and I decided to put up some end racism posters and wear some shirts or some things like that represented that struggle, there's going to be a problem. And it's going to be a problem that's going to be solved really, really quick. But somehow, everybody thought that he had the right to express his frustration with police brutality through the media of the NFL. Now, nowhere in his contract said that it was okay to do that. It actually says it in all of their contracts that it's not okay to do that. So the other thing was, there was no end game to it. There was no end game. Okay. My thing was, okay, if you're going to boycott, what are you going to get out of it? Well, we want him to get his job back. We want him to be, we got all of these quarterbacks that are getting jobs and he's better than all of them. I'm like, well, first of all, he's not that good. He's okay. I watch football. He's all right. He had 2 good years. And really, I want to say a year and a half of being good. But he's average. He was falling off fast. So we're not doing that. But just like you can't tell your boss who to promote and who to give jobs to, you can't tell them that he deserves to be on one of those teams. And I'm like, why would one of those teams sign up for that media circus, positive and negative, but mostly negative, that were going to come from these quasi patriots who don't want to see him take a knee or see him refuse to do the national anthem? Who would want that smoke? Who's going to give him who's going to sign him to their team? Not only that, but he didn't get put out of the NFL. He had another year left on his contract with San Francisco, and they were going to let him do it. He said he wanted to test free agency. He knew damn well that he was too hot for TV and nobody was going to sign him. And they didn't. But my thing was, if y'all protest this, he was making $15-20 million a year. I was like, well, so y'all worried about somebody who's making all of that money getting signed to a contract? Or what? What, did he spend all of the money that he had from last year? My thing is, what do y'all want out of it? Nobody could tell me. Nobody could tell me. And so my thing, I'm like, so we supposed to just stop buying all paraphernalia, stop watching the games, not support the NFL for however long, but y'all not getting shit out of it. Nothing. Y'all not asking for nothing. All y'all want is for Colin Kaepernick to be able to take a knee and not do the national anthem. That's all y'all want? So y'all gonna take money out of the NFL's pocket, but y'all not putting it nowhere? Well, at least with this organized protest, they may not have been getting money out of this, but they were able to get people back hired that they wanted that had either gotten fired or weren't going to be able to be eligible to get jobs. So it made sense to me. So like I said, I was glad that it wasn't just a black thing, because DEI is not just a black thing. So why should it be? But if it was just a black thing, it would have been ineffective because we ain't going to do it. You know, that the reason why they keep trying to compare the Alabama boycott, the Montgomery bus boycott to any other boycott is because the Alabama bus boycott actually fucking worked. And then they let them off the hook. With that boycott, they should have, since they bankrupted the bus company and they had already pretty much started their own Uber service, they should have took that and made their own their own transit company. But no, niggas won and gave back the championship. All right, listen, I gotta get up out of here. We a little overtime, but it's okay. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in. Appreciate you as usual. Always as usual. I'll talk to you next time. I'm definitely get at you. You have a good rest of the day. All right. Great exchange there, in my opinion. Great call. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious March 2nd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. Look at the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. Look at the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. Look at the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Meek Brown, go get a Meek Brown. Happy birthday to you. And also go get a Mary Derry. Happy birthday to you. And Brownie Johnson, Angelique Marshall, Angela M. Segura Santana, Erica Johnson, Robert J. Hale III, Carolyn Tate Small, last but not least, Carolyn Tate Small. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious March 2nd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on to do the damn to rock out. Rock on to do the damn rock out. Rock on to do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, you can be honest all you want. It doesn't mean that you're always going to be right. Let me check the results of the poll. How many people did we get to participate? 21 votes in the poll. Do you think that it's possible to be honest all the time and be right all the time too? 24% of people who voted said yes. And 76% said no. Well, you know, sometimes you have to decide about whether you want to be right or whether you want to be effective. And sometimes we can get twisted. You know, in this social media climate that we are in, whether you accept that that's where we are or not, you can see the evidence. And it definitely has origins in this social media atmosphere. But one thing social media teaches us is that we can say whatever is on our mind. We can exercise our First Amendment, even though Meta, before Trump came back this time, they were suspending accounts, putting everybody in Facebook jail, over dumb shit and whatever. I don't know if y'all have noticed that it's changed, and now you can get away with calling somebody a dickhead. You might be able to write nigga with the ER at the end. You might. They was banging us for all that shit before, but it teaches us or shows us that we can say whatever is on our mind. What it doesn't show us is what the consequences may be of doing that. So you can go to work and say exactly what's on your mind. Are you going to be able to keep your job? You can go to your spouse and say exactly what's on your mind consistently. Doesn't mean that you're going to be able to keep your marriage in good standing. You may lose it altogether, or you may just be in a very, very unhealthy and unhappy marriage. It's all on you. You can speak your mind to your friends with no filter, no tact, no diplomacy, no empathy, no feelings. You can do it. Doesn't mean that you're going to keep those friends. It doesn't mean that they're always going to put up with your shit. It doesn't mean that they're always going to be there. And then you'll be the one screaming, they ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. People turn their back on you. We all have to make decisions out here. And just because they made the decision not to be friends with somebody who act like they don't know what the fuck to say out of their mouth as if they were an untrained child, that's on them. That's on them. So just the same way as at home, you may speak as you want and never hold back and feel like you have the right to say whatever's on your mind. You don't do that with everybody. You probably won't do that with somebody you're afraid of. You probably won't do that with somebody who is financing you or backing you or taking care of you. Yeah, plenty of people bite the hand that feeds them and shit. But not necessarily by running their mouth. Hey, there's a time and place for all things. There's a time and space for all kings. Sometimes we gotta remember that shit. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow. We be back up in this bitch tomorrow. It's only a day away. I want y'all to have a great day. No exceptions. Maximize, man. Maximize. Build with your people. Strategize on how y'all gonna navigate your way through this tough time financially, socially, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You know what I mean? Convene with your people. Congregate with your people. Gather with your folks. Talk it out. Walk it out. Even if they have different political, social, political views that than you do. Believe me, sooner or later, y'all gonna come together. Because there's about to be no choice. And I'm not trying to do no fear mongering. I just know, I'm gonna go eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's almost dinner time. Hey, I get back with y'all, man. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming through. If I didn't get a chance to say your name, like Scottish Productions, SCT Pro. Thanks for coming through from Bulgaria. Shout out to Bulgaria. That's what's up. Kim's Wims, Cheryl Halsey, Spartacus, my people Spart. What's good, man? Sorry I didn't get a chance to holler at you. Grown Woman Don't Try Me. T. Carey Wright. Nicole Ellis. Manifest Reality. Just trying to make sure, my people get spoken about. Y'all are important. Ansel Jones. I ain't see you at all. You creep through the fog right there. My brother Ansel Jones and Santi EM1. That's what's up, man. Johnny West, my people Johnny West. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate it. All right. So that's going to do it, man. We be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. Y'all know how I go Monday going into Tuesday. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Even if you do it after this, watch the replay. You won't get the comments on the replay. The comments don't come in. Should I say the chat doesn't come in for the show until they finish processing it. It takes like 10 or 12 hours, something like that. So, but you can still go out and watch the show. I'll holla. Peace, y'all.